Good afternoon and welcome to Global News at noon on Memories 96.5 FM. Uyo. First, the top stories. Presidency to unveil national campaign for Made in Nigeria goods. Senate steps down Electoral Act bill for wider consultation. Central Bank of Nigeria and Bank of Angola sign memorandum of understanding to boost bilateral technical cooperation. On the foreign scene, Kenya holds state funeral for opposition leader Raila Odinga. In sports, Lionel Messi congratulates Argentina for getting to final of Under-20 World Cup. We have details of these and other stories coming up in a moment. I am NYAKNNO, Albert. Now the news in full. Beginning from the presidency, the federal government will begin a national campaign to promote Made in Nigeria goods and services under the Nigeria First policy as part of efforts to revitalize the manufacturing sector. President Bola Tinubu made this known in Lagos at the 5th Adeola Odutola lecture by the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria yesterday. President Tinubu was represented at the event by the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, Senator John Eno. According to Tinubu, the campaign aims to shift national demand towards Nigerian products that meet global quality standards, while also addressing the country's import dependency. The president noted that preliminary studies show that such a campaign could boost the manufacturing sector by up to 6% and create over 500,000 jobs within the next 3 years, adding that his administration will continue to prioritize the growth of Nigeria's manufacturing sector through policies promoting production, consumption, and export of made in Nigeria goods. At the legislature, the Senate has stepped down the Electoral Act Repeal and Amendment Bill 2025 after an extensive debate on its general principles. The Red Chamber said it took the action to allow for wider consultation and deeper scrutiny of its provisions. The proposed legislation seeks to repeal the Electoral Act 2022 and reenact a new law aimed at delivering a stronger, more credible and inclusive electoral framework for Nigeria. It also proposes innovations such as digital registers of results, QR-coded voter identification cards, and stricter timelines for party primaries and results transmission. In another development, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, and the Bank of Angola have signed a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, with an objective to foster closer bilateral relations that will enhance capacity in central banking operations. The Governor of the Central Bank of Angola, Manuel Diaz, and the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, formally endorsed the agreement. Speaking at the ceremony, CBN Governor Cardoso said the MOU was long in the making and described its timing and setting as ideal. Cardoso further emphasized the significance of the agreement for Africa, stating that increased cooperation between and among central banks would help address shared challenges and strengthen regional understanding and collaboration. Away from that, the Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, NACA, Dr. Temitope Ilori, and the Director General of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Zubaida Umar, have vowed to collaborate and integrate HIV prevention to support interventions in emergency and disaster response systems. An official statement released by NACA earlier today indicated that the pledge followed a courtesy visit by Dr. Ilori to NEMA's headquarters in Abuja, aimed at exploring partnership opportunities in humanitarian response and ensuring vulnerable populations, including internally displaced persons, IDP, to have access to HIV prevention tools, testing services, and treatment during crisis. The meeting underlined both agencies' commitments to joint efforts in safeguarding the health and resilience of vulnerable communities, signaling a new phase of collaboration between disaster management and public health interventions in Nigeria. Omar, who acknowledged that in managing IDP camps, health assessments rarely consider HIV status, noted that the need to explore possible integration of HIV testing, care, and prevention in such settings, while addressing issues of stigma and confidentiality. She also expressed interest in NACA's preventive tools and medications, recognizing that long-term IDP settlements often present context where adult cohabitation occurs, thereby increasing the importance of access to HIV prevention measures. Still in the news, the Police Service Commission has approved the appointment of Assistant Inspector General of Police Dankwara Mohammed as a Deputy Inspector General of Police to represent the Northeast Geopolitical Zone. AIG Mohammed is a replacement for DIG Sahabu Yaya, who recently retired from service. An official statement issued by the PSC's Head of Press and Public Relations Ikechukwu earlier today indicated that the Commission also approved the promotion of Commissioner of Police Abibo Ruben to the rank of Assistant Inspector General of Police, as well as the elevation of 11 Deputy Commissioners to Substantive Commissioners. The Commission further approved the promotion of 13 Assistant Commissioners to Deputy Commissioners, 44 Chief Superintendents to Assistant Commissioners, and 412 Superintendents to the rank of Chief Superintendents, with several Deputy Superintendents confirmed as Substantive Superintendents. The PSC Chairman DIG Hashimu Agongo retired, congratulated the newly promoted officers and urged them to rededicate themselves to the service of the nation, stressing that promotion in the police comes with high responsibilities and expectations. You're listening to Global News at noon on Memories 96.5 FM. More reports after the break. Do stay with us.
Stay up to date with all the latest in news, sports, and entertainment. Memories FM
96.5.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned to Global News on Memories 96.5 FM. And now to the rest of the news. On the foreign scene, Kenya is set to hold a state's funeral for revered opposition leader Raila Odinga in Nairobi today, a day after security forces opened fire on huge mourning crowds, killing at least 3. The 80-year-old Odinga, who died from a suspected heart attack at a health clinic in southern India on Wednesday, has triggered outpouring grief across his home country. Affectionately known as Baba, Odinga was arguably the most important political figure of his generation in Kenya. Though he served as Prime Minister from 2008 to 2013, he never succeeded in winning the presidency despite 5 attempts, but played a central role in returning the country to multi-party democracy in the 1990s and is credited as the main force behind a widely praised constitution passed in 2010. And outside Africa, the United States military has carried out a strike on another alleged drug smuggling vessel as the admiral overseeing the President Donald Trump administration's controversial campaign in the Caribbean announced a departure. A U.S. official speaking on condition of anonymity confirmed the strike happened yesterday. The official did not offer additional details about the incident, which has not been previously reported, and the Pentagon and President Trump are yet to publicly confirm the attack. Prior to the latest attack and the strike, the U.S. carried out 5 attacks on alleged drug smuggling vessels in the Caribbean since early September, killing at least 27 people. The strikes have drawn the condemnation of legal experts, rights groups, and democratic lawmakers who criticized their extrajudicial nature and question whether they adhere to U.S. and international law. In sports, Argentina captain Lionel Messi has congratulated the country's under-20 team after they arrived at the final of the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. Argentina will face Morocco in the final game on Sunday, the 19th of October 2025, after beating Colombia 1-0 in the semi-final this week. A second half goal from Matteo Silvetti ensured Argentina defeated Colombia and will face Morocco in the final after the North Africans defeated France in the other semi-final clash. Reacting, Messi in a post on his Instagram story also hailed Inter Miami's Matteo Silvetti for scoring the goal of the encounter. Argentina has a history of success in the FIFA Under-20 World Cup, where they have won the title 6 times in the past, and presently they are looking forward to win a record-extending 7th Under-20 title when they tackle Morocco. And that's global news on Memories 96.5 FM. But before we go, let's take a recap of the top stories. The federal government will begin a national campaign to promote Made in Nigeria goods and services under the Nigeria First policy as part of efforts to revitalize the manufacturing sector. The Senate has stepped down the Electoral Act Repeal and Amendment Bill 2025 after an extensive debate on its general principles. On the news, you also heard that the Central Bank of Nigeria and the Bank of Angola have signed a memorandum of understanding with an objective to foster closer bilateral relations that will enhance capacity in central banking operations. And on the foreign scene, we brought you a report that Kenya is set to hold a state funeral for revered opposition leader Raila Odinga in Nairobi today, a day after security forces opened fire on huge mourning crowds, killing at least 3 people. And in sports, Argentina captain Lionel Messi has congratulated the country's Under-20 team after they arrived at the final of the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile. The news this afternoon was edited by Mary Akpan and assisted by the production team. For views regarding our news or coverage of your newsworthy events, you can reach us on email newsroom@memoriesmediang.com or call our Newsroom hotline on 0909 000 0581. You can also follow us on Facebook at Memories 965 FM and listen to us from anywhere in the world on Radio Garden at Memories 96.5 FM. Log on to our website at www.memoriesmediang.com. And now, let's take you down memory lane. On this day in 1979, Mother Teresa, founder of a Roman Catholic order of women dedicated to the poor and particularly to the destitute of India, was named the recipient of that year's Nobel Prize for Peace. That's the news. Thank you so much for listening. I am NYAKNNO Albert. Good afternoon.